All right, good afternoon, happy Tuesday. Welcome to Pilates. My name is Jennifer, and as we get started here, just a couple of reminders whether you're watching and participating in this class live or checking it out later, so that I don't forget at the end. Please check out our website. We are starting a 7-day challenge tomorrow for all of our friends at Heat Yoga, and they're fun challenges. Some of them have to do with asana and yoga poses, but just something where you can post a picture or post a comment, tag your friends, just to try to get some community involvement and have a little bit of fun here. So please check that out on the website. And we will be doing some traditional Pilates work today, in addition to a couple of circuits to build a little bit of energy and sneak in a little bit of cardio. So as always, I ask that you do what feels good in your body today. Push yourself a little bit, we'll build some strength and length. But if anything that I am offering does not feel good, please choose to do something else or just take a moment. All good. So we will begin our practice on our back today. And rather than stretching our legs out long as we often do, we're going to take our feet to the edges of the mat and drop our knees toward the center of the mat. So there's a bend in the knee. And letting the knees drop to the center so that we can just release all of the muscles in the hips. So the feet will probably be toward the edges of your mat, maybe even a little wider. And just for a moment, let's open the palms to the sky. Feel the backs of the shoulders soften. And just taking a couple of minutes here to drop in, come into the breath. Being gentle with the body and the mind. There's a lot going on. It's maybe more difficult now than normal to quiet the mind and find that sense of peace and focus. But we'll continue to work on that for the next hour. Focusing on the movement, focusing on the breath. Finding that joy and energy in our practice. So as you soften the muscles in the face, just relax the jaw. And let's take the hands now to the belly. So just placing both hands on the belly. Just feeling the hands, the palms lift as you inhale and the belly rises. And as you exhale, just releasing anything that's in your head that isn't serving a good purpose for you right now. Continuing with the breath. Creating that visual picture of that inhale, filling up the belly, the breath traveling all the way up the spine, opening the rib cage. And just shooting right out through the top of the head. And that exhale releasing, almost as if you're releasing, recycling anything you don't need into the earth. Let that recycle up, come back in as new air, new energy on your inhale. As you continue to breathe here, noticing what happens with the shape of the spine. As you inhale, and the belly rises, maybe feeling the spine start to peel up off of the mat. And starting to make that exhale more active. As you exhale, starting to press the spine back into the earth one vertebrae at a time. Inhaling, belly rises. Spine gets a little longer. On the exhale, roll back down one vertebra at a time. At the bottom, we're starting to press the lower spine into the earth, feeling that action, that heat in the core. One more time, just like this. Inhale. And exhale as slow as you can. Reconnect the spine. We're going to pause and hold at the bottom. So as you completely empty out, imprint the lowest part of the spine into the earth, maybe feeling those hip bones pull up a little bit toward the rib cage. So super active here. Now squeezing the knees together. Let's scooch the heels in just a little bit closer to the glutes, but maintain this awkward position in the legs with the knees squeezed together. We'll rotate the palms down to the earth and press the palms into the mat. Take an inhale, let the belly rise. On the exhale, press the lower spine into the earth, press through the heels, start to lift the hips up into this awkward bridge. So knees still squeezing together. Glutes squeezing up toward the sky, hip bones rise. Heart is lifted. Take an inhale. On the exhale, we start to roll back down, slow and controlled, starting at the top of the spine, reconnecting, pressing the spine into the earth. And on our inhale, we come back to that neutral spine. So that neutral spine, we've got a little space underneath the lower part of the back. Exhale, press the spine into the earth, press through the heels to lift back up here. This time we're gonna hold. So stay lifted, squeeze those knees together a little bit more. Maybe walk the feet a little closer to the glutes, lift a little bit more. And now start to round the shoulders underneath the body to allow the heart to come up and through. From here, we're gonna lift and lower through the heels. So come up to the balls of the feet and lower, heels press. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower. 4 more, inhale, lift, exhale. 3, 2, and 1. Stay lifted here. Heels stay lifted up off the earth. We're going to come onto the balls of the feet, pressing all 10 toes into the earth. And now just lower and lift. Knees are still squeezed together. Squeeze and lift right here. For 10, 9, 8, 7. Think about that lift of the hip bones. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the heels to the earth, starting at the top of the spine. Slowly reconnect back down to your mat. Pressing the lumbar spine into the earth, and then take an inhale, roll back through. And let's bring those feet now together. So the heels and the balls of the feet will connect, let the knees drop wide. So we're in this butterfly position. You should feel a nice stretch through the inner thigh, gently guiding the outer edges of the knees toward the earth to open. Now really press the balls of the feet and the heels together here. Palms come down to the mat to connect. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, we're gonna press through the pinky edges of the feet, start to lift the hips up here. Big stretch for the inner thigh and the hips. Take an inhale. And exhale, roll back down, starting at the top of the spine. So keeping the belly button pulled toward the spine the whole time. Control, control, and then all the way down. Take an inhale. Exhale, press through the pinky edge of the feet, all the way back up. Pausing and holding here this time. Again, we might roll the shoulders underneath the body a little bit, find a little more space, hip bones lift. Glutes are squeezing to lift up to the sky. We'll pulse here. Teeny tiny lower, exhale to press up. Inhale, exhale. Yes, keep going. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, really press and lift, and 1. Hold lifted, final movement here. I want you to press the heels together, separate the balls of the feet. So as if you're reaching the toes away to the corners, corners of the wall. So heels are pressing right here. Hold, press for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reconnect the balls of the feet. Now press through the balls of the feet, separate the heels, and lift. Keep pressing. Those toe mounds pressing into one another, heels away. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Heels come back together. Slowly stack the vertebrae back down to the earth. Roll through the spine. All the way down here. And then bottoms of the feet come to the earth. Now bring the heels a little closer to the glutes. We'll press up into bridge, traditional here. Take an inhale. On the exhale, press the lower spine into the earth. Start to lift and roll through the spine all the way up. So take that shoulder roll under the body. Now we feel that stretch more in the quads. Glutes squeeze to help us lift up a little more. We'll lower and lift right here. Lower, squeeze, lift. Now I'm gonna have you lift your toes up off the earth. So we're grounding down through the heels. Heels driving into the earth. Press and lift. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause and hold here. We'll take that left leg, cross the left ankle over top of the right, make that figure 4. So now drive that right heel down, lift up. Maybe feel that little stretch in the outer part of the left hip. So we're going to lower, tap the right glute to the earth, press and lift up, and lower, and press, press. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower all the way down. Keep that figure 4. Interlace the hands at the base of the skull. Extend the right leg long. We're hovering here. That left ankle still on top of the right. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, squeeze and crunch. Legs move as one piece. Inhale up, exhale lower. Inhale, exhale. So outer edges of the elbows are wide, reaching toward the floor behind you. That right leg doesn't have to be straight, just find some extension reaching through the toe. And as we flow up and down here, try to keep that lower back in imprint, maintain that connection. Yes. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower that right foot to the earth. Release the head and shoulders down. Palms come down, unwind that left leg. Take an inhale. Exhale, press, roll back up to that bridge. Heels come toward the body, going right to the other side. So we'll cross that right ankle over the top of the left knee. Drop the outer edge of that right knee toward the earth. Open the hips right here. We'll lower and lift. So that left hip is tapping down. Breathing. Driving those hip bones up to the sky. Big press up. Big stretch to the quadriceps. Push and release. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower all the way down. Interlace the hands. Extend and reach through the left toes. Right leg stays crossed. Lift the head, lift the shoulders, crunch up. And come to rise. And release the heel toward the earth. So right away this time, let's check in with the lower part of the spine. Maintaining that connection. So we're really digging the lumbar spine into the earth. Digging the tailbone. Keep lowering and lifting here. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release the left foot. Release both knees coming into the chest. We'll rock side to side. We'll kind of finish our warm up here on the earth with just the traditional 5-part leg series. Just to lengthen the legs, get into the core a little bit. So let's extend that left leg long. Pull the right knee to the chest. Inhale. Reaching through the left toes. We'll take an exhale, lift the head, lift the shoulders, crunch up. We're going to pull the knee to the chest twice and switch sides. So pull, pull. Left knee comes in. Pull, pull. And switch. So moving with your breath. 2 quick exhales as we pull the knee to the chest. And as much as we're thinking about pulling that knee toward the chest, we're driving the opposite toes toward the wall in front of you. Really reach, open up through the hip flexor. Keep flowing for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pause right here, hold, stay lifted. Fingertips to the outer edges of the ankles. Take an inhale to lengthen both directions. Exhale, sweep and tap back to center. Inhale. Exhale. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Crunch here. Go ahead and release the neck and the shoulders for a moment. Rock it out side to side over the spine. Same movement here, but we'll work with straight legs. So let's extend that left leg long. So it's hovering off the earth just a few inches. And then we'll extend the right toes toward the sky. A bend in the knee is fine. Finding that grip point behind the thigh, the calf, or the ankle will stay away from the knee. So we'll take an inhale. On our exhale, tuck the chin to the chest, shoulders lift. Find your grip point, knee pulls toward the face. 1, 2, and switch. 1, 2. Come back to that Pilates breath. 2 quick exhale. And again, as much as we're thinking about pulling that knee toward the nose to soften through the backs of the legs and the hamstrings, we're still reaching through that opposite toe. Right here. For 3, 2, and 1. Toes stay lifted, interlace the fingertips at the base of the skull, keep the shoulders up if you can. Flex the feet, toes pulled toward the face. Inhaling, heels lower toward the earth. Exhale, point the toes, sweep up. Feeling that warmth in the belly here. Inhale to lower. Exhale, sweep and lift. So as you continue flowing, that lower back is an imprint the whole time. Super connected, super strong. And sweep. Just 5. Squeezing the thighs together. 4, 3. Hang on, one more movement in the 5 series. As the toes come back up, right knee comes to the chest, left leg stays long. We're gonna cross, bringing the left elbow to the outer edge of the right knee. Pause and hold here. So we're just gonna hold and squeeze that right side body, super warm, working. Reaching through the left toes, squeezing through the right side of the body. Take an inhale to stay. Exhale. Now release the left fingertips from behind the head. Place that right forearm on the outside of that right knee. So now we're going to press that right thigh into the left hand. So press, press, press. Super active. That left hand is resisting for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand comes behind the head, switch side. Reach through the right toes, right elbow comes to the outer left knee. Hold and squeeze here. Lifting the elbow a little closer to the knee. Left side body active, right toes reaching. We'll stay here to inhale. On the exhale, right hand comes to the outer edge of that left leg. Now start to push the outer edge of that left thigh into the right hand. Resist back, push both directions. Hold for 5, 4, yes, strong here, 2, and 1. Back to center, flow side to side. Take your bicycles. You can extend the legs long, or you can start to make those big Pilates circles like you're riding a bike, drawing circles with the toes. Wherever you are, flowing for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Let's take that full body stretch, reaching through the fingertips, reaching through the toes. First big stretch for the sides of the body. So opening up through the rib cage. Active reach through the fingertips. Take an inhale. Exhale, keep reaching. Now start to ground down through the heels. Bring the feet a little greater than hip distance apart. Ground down through the heels. Flex the toes toward the face. We'll inhale. On the exhale, we're coming up. Tuck the chin to the chest. Come all the way up. Fold over to inhale. Exhale, curve through the spine. C shape with the spine. Roll all the way back down to your mat. Take an inhale up and overhead. Exhale, ground down through the heels. Roll up. Hold here for a moment to take that stretch for the backs of the legs. And then when you're ready, we'll cross at the ankles. We're going to come into our first plank. Let's start in all fours here. And just take a moment, maybe take a couple rounds through cat-cow. That feels really good after that work in the belly. Just let everything hang down to the earth. Maybe coming side to side with the hips. And as you kind of finish loosening up there, as we come into a little bit of plank work here before we stand, always an option to release the knees. We're going to do about 3 different series, and it is going to be a little intense for the arms. So do what you can, take little micro breaks, just hop out for a minute and hop right back in and join them. So let's come to center. Stack the hands underneath the shoulders, so gaze down to make sure we're aligned. And let's go ahead and lift the knees. We're gonna reach back through the heels. So right away, we're gonna come into that alignment that we're looking for. So let's bring the feet just a little bit wider for this first movement. Elbow creases facing one another. Think about squeezing that lower rib cage. Everything's super active and tight. On our inhale, we're gonna bend both knees and drive the hips back toward the heels. Stay nice and low. On the exhale, drive forward to plank. Inhale, drop back. Exhale, drive forward. Inhale. Exhale. As you keep flowing, you want to keep that neck in alignment. I'm not setting a good example because I keep looking up to talk to the camera, but you want to keep that gaze down at the mat, and as we float forward, gaze is at the top of the mat. So always reaching through the crown of the head, finding as much length in the neck as we can. Drive forward. Let's take 4, 3, 2, lift the navel to the spine right here, and 1, back to center. Keep those toes a little wider. We're going to take shoulder taps and push-ups combo. So just tap the shoulder, 1 push-up. Tap, tap, 1 push-up. Here's another option. Release the knees, come to your supported plank position, wherever you feel like you're in control of your movement. Tap, tap, and lower. Moving at your own pace. Let's keep those elbows hugged in toward the rib cage as we take that push-up. We've got 6, 5. Never hurts to smile, especially when you start to feel your body talking to you a little bit. It's all good. Our last 3 here. 2. And last one. We've got 1 more movement here. Take that final push-up. We're going to come back up. We're going to roll into our first side plank. So let's place the right hand underneath the face. And as you roll to your side plank, option to release that bottom leg down to the earth for support or stay lifted. You can stack the feet, stair step the feet. We're going to use this side plank hold to reach up and over, again lengthening through the side of the body. So grounding down through the pinky edge of the left foot, the top leg, reach through the fingertips, get super long right here. We've got a hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float back to center, shoulders are square. We're going to take push-ups. Let the elbows come out this time. We've got 8, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Lift the heart up through the shoulder blades. And 1. Come all the way back up, side plank on the other side. Maybe that left leg comes down. Find your line of energy. Reach through the fingertips, come up and overhead, breathing into the side body. Lifting up and away from the earth. We hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cartwheel back to center. Push-ups. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more set on each side plank. Roll back. Let's take that stretch again. This time we're going to add a little hip dip. So a teeny lower, squeeze lift. 7, 6, 5. Maintain that long reach through the body. Really open up. 3, 2, and 1. Roll back to center. Last set of push-ups. This time elbows staying tight to the body for the triceps. 8, 7, 6. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll right to the other side. Lift up here. Find that long side body and then start that hip dip. Lower, squeeze lift. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cartwheel back to center. Lift the hips up, tuck the chin, down dog. Walk it out. Maybe take just a minute here again to try to soften the back side of the body. Let the crown of the head just drop. Soften everything in the back of the neck. And then we're going to walk the fingers up to the toes. Forward fold. And we'll take that slow roll all the way up. So let the head and hands hang heavy. Ground down through the feet. Really stabilize. Pull the belly button to the spine and start to stack the vertebrae one at a time. Coming all the way up. Big inhale, circle sweep. Exhale, open the chest. That feels nice too. Inhale. And hands come through heart center. We are at our first circuit. So we're going to move through the circuit a couple of times, just getting the heart rate up. I'll give you options to add intensity and options to kind of take it down a notch if you like. We'll start with the hands at heart center, pressing the palms together. Just little squat jumps. We're gonna take 2 together, 2 wide, 2, and down. So you can make this more intense by staying low the whole time. You can step in and out. Just starting to move and get the heart rate up. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Reach the fingertips forward. We're going to take a big step back with that right leg, or whichever leg you like. We're just going to take some lunges here. So lower and lift. Arms can come up to stretch and lengthen the side body. If you want to be in cactus to open the chest. Just kind of focusing on the lower body. So that left or that right knee coming toward the earth. Tap down for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to hinge forward at the hips. Spine stays long. So starting to fold forward. Back leg becomes straight. Ground down and drive through the heel of the front leg. Lift up and balance here. From here, we're going to bend that back leg and press the heel back. So working through the hamstring here, toes are flexed toward the body. Pressing through the heel, press behind you for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Check in with that spine. 2, and 1. Come back to center, left leg steps back. Find that lunge first, whatever arm position, knee lowers and lift. Lower and lift. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. You choose your arm position. And 1. Last one, hinge forward. Stay long through the spine, reach through the crown. Lift the back toes up. Drive that front heel into the earth. Let's bend that back leg, flex the toes, press back, and press, and press. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step wide, frog jumps are next. Fingertips reach toward the earth on the inhale, sweep up and hop. Yeah. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Skater squats, arms come up. We're going to make that rainbow shape as we bend deeply into one leg, come all the way up and over, sweep to the other. So really think about lengthening the sides of the body, opening up the rib cage, big deep bend, opening up the inner thighs, squeezing the side body as you tap the fingers down. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Final movement in this set. Hands come behind the head. Heel toe those feet closer. We're going to squat down, lift, cross opposite knee to opposite elbow. So rotating the spine, working through those obliques. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Whole series again, shake it out. Coming right back to where we started in 4, 3, 2, 1. Hop in and out, and in, and out. For 8, 7, 6. Challenge yourself, stay a little lower if you want to dig into those legs a little more. For 3. Pressing through the palms. 1. Here we go. Come back to center. Right leg steps back, find that lunge. Maybe make it more active this time, reaching and pulling. As you pull down, chest comes, heart comes through, chest opens, elbows squeeze behind the body. For 3, 2, and 1. Hands to heart center, hinge forward, long spine, toes lift. Flex the foot, press back through the heel, and press, and press. So right away, let's squeeze those shoulder blades together. Strong and long. Press for 5, 4, 3, 2. Step to center on 1. Left foot steps back. Inhale, exhale, and reach, and tap, and reach, and tap. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hands come to heart center, start to hinge the body forward, drive through that back heel, lift up, press through the heel, press back for 10, 9, 8. You should feel that energy in the hamstring, really make it active. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step back here. And frog jumps, took me a moment. And lift and jump, and lift. So if you can, keep the arms straight, kind of like you're just hinging, keep the spine long the whole time, hinge and reach, hinge and reach. For 5, press through the heels as you lift. 2, and 1. Stay low here, we're gonna rainbow all the way, bend into the legs. Big reach up and over to stretch. Opposite side. Flowing side to side. Starting to get our sweat on. It's probably not 102 degrees in your house like it is at the studio, but we'll do the best we can. Bend and reach. Last 3. 2. And 1. Back to center, fingertips behind the head, heel toe a little closer together. Squat down, lift, opposite knee, opposite elbow. Let's really see if we can connect a little bit more this time. Last round. We'll have a seat after this. For 6, 5, 4, 3. Last couple, make them big. Pull that knee in. Drive up. And last one. All right, shake it out. This is a great time to grab a drink. We'll meet in the seated position at the top of the mat. All right. Feels good to get the heart rate up. So now we're going to slow it down, come back to smaller movements that are super controlled. So this is one of those things that doesn't look like anything for the first few times you do it, and it actually looks pretty goofy, but you'll feel it pretty quickly too. So let's come into that long spine position, and we're going to lift up into a tabletop. Fingertips are going to reach forward. So we're going to take a walk on our sits bones. You should be balanced on your sits bones right now. If you're not, you can maybe kind of move some flesh. Get yourself balanced up there, just like we're doing boat. We're going to walk forward and back. So you're scooching the body forward for 4, and then back for 4. So you're using the obliques, the lateral abdominals, to lift the hip up and walk forward and back. So keep going. And let's take a little modifier here to help keep our legs a little bit more balanced and strong. Let's cross one ankle over the other. Keep going forward and back for 4, and back. So you're using the core to lift the hip and scooch. Forward, and back. Let's cross the other ankle on top. Keep going, scooch forward. 2, 1, and back. 3, 2, 1. This isn't near as much fun because I can't see all of you looking silly. I just see me looking really foolish. But I am feeling this in my side body. I hope you are too. Let's take one more forward and back. And back. 2, 3, 4. Release everything down. Just let the spine round for a moment. We're going to stretch the back. So press the spine toward the wall behind you, round the shoulders. As you take an inhale, really fill up, tuck the chin to the chest, round as much as you can. And on our exhale, we're going to stack up one vertebrae at a time. So start at the bottom. Just envision each of those little donut-shaped discs just stacking right back on top of one another, coming back to that nice long spine. We're going to hinge back. So coming down to the forearms here, legs will come up into tabletop. So squeezing the elbows toward one another. And we're going to lift up and out of the chest. So rather than slumping down and allowing those shoulders to come toward the ears, we're going to lift up. Press through the palms to stay lifted. We're going to start drawing some circles with the knees and the toes. So we'll go clockwise first. And as you make these circles, and we go right back the other direction. So you draw a circle, meet at the top, go back the other way. And as you make these circles, one hip is going to lift up from the earth, and that's okay. So circle. Now, can you squeeze the knees together? Keep the knees connected the whole time and make those circles. Yeah. Let's take one more here. And come back to center. Press the heels ahead of you. Lengthen the legs. Exhale, squeeze it. For 8, 7, thighs squeeze. 6, 5. Lower rib cage pulling toward the spine. Everything squeezed in. Tightening that corset. 3, 2, and 1. Release the feet. Press through the palms. We're going to lift right here and work through the triceps. So press up and lift. Lower back down to the forearms. Press and lift. And lower down. So your option is to stay here, or if you'd like a lot more intensity, you can press up to that reverse tabletop and take your bicep dips or tricep dips here. Your choice. Wherever you're working, we'll take 6, 5, we have another set after this, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold back. This time as the legs come up, we're going to lengthen. They don't have to be straight. Give it a try here with the longer lever. It creates a little more work. Always your option to go back to the first round and bend the knees. So we'll make that big circle, rolling over the hip, reaching through the toes, and back up. Big circle. Or maybe it's an oval. Some shape that is having you roll from one hip to the other, using the core to stabilize your movement. And as those legs continue to circle, let's check back in with the chest and the shoulders. Shoulders drop down and away from the ears. Heart is lifting up through the rib cage. Collarbone is wide. 2 more big circles. Yeah. And bend the knees. This time we're going to make that V shape. So we're going to circle, make those half circles. One leg will end up on top. Tuck the chin to the chest to lengthen the back of the neck. Squeeze in for 6, 5. Maybe close the eyes. Focus all the energy. Belly button squeezing in. 4, 3. Yeah. 2. Last one here. Zip the legs back together. Drop the feet. Last round of those triceps. So you can press up from your forearms, lift back up into reverse tabletop, whatever you like. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Breathing. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fold over. All right, we've got one more circuit. There are 4 movements in the circuit, focusing more on the core, building length in the spine and building strength in the core. So let's roll down. We're going to come into a forearm side plank here. So elbows stacked underneath the shoulders, side body lifted up and away from the earth. So you can maintain this shape right here with the left hip down on the earth or whichever hip you're on. Stay down, or we're going to lift up and lengthen the legs. So find your stability in your forearm plank first. And then that opposite arm reaches up and overhead. We're going to pull knee to elbow, but instead of coming on the side of the body as we often do, we're going to pull in the front of the body. So that knee is going to come into the middle and extend right there for 9. Crunch for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Roll back to center. Come up to your half boat position. We're going to lower and lift here. Low boat and high boat. Yes. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right away, roll to that opposite hip, set up for your forearm plank. Knees stay down or hips lift up. Take that big inhale up and over to reach. Knee and elbow meet in front of the body. Squeeze it and squeeze. For 8, 7, 6, 5. Gaze down. That elbow is right underneath the shoulders, super aligned. 3, 2, and 1. Come back down to the back. This time we've got a low hold. So holding right here, low bow. Fingertips reach down, tops of the shoulders are soft. Chin tucked to the chest. Reach to the toes and hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Stay on that same side. We're coming right back to the start. Or maybe you need to go back to the other side. I got confused because I'm moving around. Set it for the second set. All those movements again. Lift the hips. Exhale, crunch in front. And release. And crunch. A little longer this time. 4, 3, 2. Another set of 8 coming right here. 8, 7, 6. Can you lift that hip up and away from the earth just a little more? 2, and 1. Roll back, come up to your boat position, and release down, squeeze. Exhale, this time we're gonna add the arms, and lower. As you come up, lift through the chest. Lower and reach, and lift, and reach. Yes, keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Knees squeeze for 3, 2, and 1. Roll right to that other hip. Stack elbow underneath. Lift everything up. Reach to lengthen. Exhale, squeeze in front of the body. And squeeze. 6. We've got 2 counts of 8. Keep lifting that side body up from the earth. 2, 1. Last 8 right here. 8. Squeeze. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come to the back. Halabati hold. This time option to stay right here. Or if you can see, we're going to crisscross at the ankles. Holding right here. Reach through the toes to lengthen for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release everything down. Hug the knees in. Rock it out side to side. A couple of big, deep breaths right here. We're going to work through the legs and hips a little bit less intense, but really, really good for lengthening and opening the hips. So let's take the knees up, stack the legs above the hips, point flex the toes right here. Bringing the palms next to the hips, just letting the upper body soften. And then we're gonna let's slide that left leg down on the mat, so right leg stays lifted. And to start out, we're gonna take the fingertips on the hip bones. So right on those hip bones, and we're gonna kind of stabilize the hip bones. We wanna maintain the stillness and stability through the hips. And we'll just start opening that right leg to the side and pull it back to center. Open to the side and pull back. So maybe noticing that that left hip would like to lift up and off the earth. So we're just using those fingertips to keep ourselves stable, hold ourselves accountable here. And let's come back to center. So now we're gonna make this bigger. A big circle. So reaching through the toes. We're gonna drop the leg to the side, sweep it all the way around, and reach back up. Inhale, sweep and drop, big circles. So as you start to make that big circle, you'll definitely notice more movement coming into the hips. So that circle is only as big as we can make it while those hips are still. Let's take one more big circle this direction, come back to center, and reverse that circle. So the toes will cross the body, exhale, sweep up. Cross and sweep. Yes, keep going here. Just really think about lengthening and reaching through the hip bone. Last one. and bring the knee to the chest, lengthen that leg long. So take a full body stretch here. Notice the difference that you feel in one side of the body versus the other. Should feel more length in that leg that we just worked. So that means we've got to do the other one. So let's pull that left knee to the chest, extend the toes long, find the fingertips back on the hip bones, and we'll just start with that opening out to the side, squeeze back in. And as we start to work through these leg circles and hip stability, really trying to take the energy out of the upper body, allow some softness in the shoulders, keeping the work in the lower body. Let's transition to those big circles. Reach through the toes, allow the leg to drop out to the side, hips are still, make that big circle, and sweep up, and circle, and sweep. So we'll use our inhale to drop, exhale, sweep up. That sweep up is energetic, it's active, it's a big sweep. 2 more this direction. And last one. Pause at the top, leg crosses the body, big circle up and around. Cross and up and around. So see if you can find just a little bit more length in that leg. Last 2 circles here. And there it is. Pull the knee to the chest. Extend the leg long. Let's take that full body stretch. Feels really good. Legs feel long, strong. And then hugging the knees to the chest. We'll use rolling like a ball to come back up through a seated position. So tucking the chin to the chest, round the spine as much as you can, hands on top of the shins, behind the thighs. We'll just start that rock and roll motion forward and back. So your starting and ending position for rolling like a ball is balancing on the sits bones, round as much as you can, roll back, and balance here. If the toes tap, no big deal. Let's take a couple more. And then on the last one, we'll cross at the ankles, come back to plank. And we're gonna slowly lower all the way down to the belly here. So slow and controlled, knees can be down for support, elbows stay hugged into the body, heart lifts up through the shoulder blade. Lower for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, all the way down. So as you arrive here, just noticing where the body connects with the earth. And we're gonna start to press through the tops of the toes. As you press the tops of the feet into your mat, notice the activation in the legs. The thighs will lift, the glutes probably engage. So we're gonna hold that energy in the lower body, pressing the hip bones into the earth. And then we're gonna extend the arms, palms up to the sides of the body, and just let the chin, the forehead, or the nose come down to the earth. So just take a moment here. Soften and round the fronts of the shoulders. And on your next inhale, keep pressing through the tops of the feet. We're going to lift through the crown, lift the heart, and as you come up, roll the shoulders back, palms toward the earth. And release. Inhale to lift, so palms rotate. So we're opening and closing the shoulders. As we come down, palms come back to the sky, shoulders soften and roll forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Adding on. As we inhale and lift, tops of the toes lift. Toes reach behind. Lifting here, reaching the fingertips toward the toes, the wall behind you. Squeezing the shoulder blades. One more breath. And release. Again, lift up on your inhale. Rotate palms toward the earth. This time, we're going to rotate the palms toward the thighs. And we're going to squeeze everything in. So pull the heels toward one another, toes out. You'll feel the glutes engage. We're going to squeeze and pulse everything in toward the spine, toward the midline of the body. Pulse in for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Soften everything down. Maybe windshield wiper the legs here. And we are going to practice a movement here to work on a little bit of extension and spinal rotation at the same time. So for this, we'll bring our feet to the corners of the mat. So nice and wide, press the tops of the feet in, and now we'll bring the forearms to the top of the mat. And then we're going to soften our forehead down to the hands. And as we lift, now the upper body is going to move in one piece. So as the elbows lift up from the mat, the hands stay attached to the forehead. So we'll take our first inhale, press through the tops of the feet, lift up, and then left fingertips are going to reach to the corner behind you, rotating the spine. Come back to center and release everything down in one piece. Inhale, lift, hands stay to the forehead. Opposite arm reaches back, rotate, and back to center, and release. Inhale to lift. Exhale, rotate and reach. And release. Inhale, and rotate. We'll take one more on each side, move with your breath. Maybe pause and hold in that reach position. Just pause and hold. Can you lift up a little bit more, squeeze and reach? Back through center and release down. Last one. Maybe hold, keep reaching here. And release everything back, come all the way down. Windshield wiper those legs one more time. Then we'll scooch those knees back so they're hip distance apart. And as we release the tops of the feet to the earth, hands come underneath the shoulders, fingertips spread wide, curl the toes, lift the belly button up off the earth, engage through the core. And as we press through the palms, we'll lift up to all fours here and just sway it out side to side. And then we'll come to one hip or the other. We'll come to that seated position. So we've done some practice. We're going to end our practice today with a couple of kind of traditional Pilates, one super traditional, one kind of fun and playful. We're going to work through the teaser, and there are a lot of different versions and options of teaser. So we'll just start with the legs in tabletop. So it looks like we're in Navasana or boat pose. Shoulder blades squeeze together, super open and wide through the chest. Gaze is up. So really feeling as much length in that spine as you can. Super long line of energy, tailbone to crown of the head. And now we're going to release the fingertips. And we're going to roll down. As we roll down and come back up, we want the shape of the legs to stay the same. Okay? So take your time, roll down through the spine. Inhale, reach up overhead. And as you exhale, come right back up to where you started. Lift the heart. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. So keep flowing wherever you are. Notice the spine coming into imprint as you come down. Use that energy, pressing the lumbar spine into the earth, using the core to lift and reach up. Option to stay right here, or if you'd like to try lengthening the legs. So we're just gonna free flow here. Take a few more rounds to whichever round teaser. Option to try full teaser. Everything comes down. On your exhale, everything lifts back up. That's your challenge posture. And wherever you're working, please take 4 more. Last 3. Don't forget about lifting the heart, just as important as lifting the legs. Open the chest. On the last one, we're going to hold up in your boat pose. Static hold. Close the eyes wherever you are for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down. So come to the top. So we're going to practice the feel, which isn't something we do that often, but it's kind of fun, kind of goofy as well. The principle is very similar to rolling like a ball. We're going to use the curve of the spine and the breath, but instead of just hugging the knees to the chest, we're going to allow the knees to come wide, heels and balls of the feet connect. And we're going to reach underneath and reach to the outer edges of the feet. So we're going to connect here. So the toes are going to tap together. So at the top of the posture, again, we're balancing on the sits bones. Toes are going to tap 1, 2, 3. Hug the into the chest, come back over, tap 1, 2, 3. Come back, balance, 1, 2, 3. So as you roll back, try to tap those toes, kind of holding. As you roll back and continue to go, we want to avoid coming up onto the neck and using the shoulders more for stability as you roll back. So play here for a minute. Nobody can see you. Feels nice in the spine, kind of playful. And just take 2 more. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. Pause at the top and hold. Stay balanced. Squeeze the knees back together. And then release everything down. We're going to cross at the ankles and push back up. to our down dog. We're just going to use this to get into pigeon. We'll take a nice hip stretch today. Whichever leg you would like to start with, just lift through the toes, reach through the toes. And then bring the knee to the chest, pull all the way through, bringing that knee toward the wrist. Start to walk that leg back. Bringing the hips as close to the earth as you can. And before we start to go down, let's find that lift here. So shoulder blades are squeezed, tops of the shoulders are soft, gaze is up. And then if you'd like a little bit more intensity, you can start to fold forward. Spine stays long, maybe coming down to the elbows or a block if you've got one. And just use the breath and allow yourself to start to soften back in here. Heart rate should be slowing down. And maybe even allowing the crown of the head to come toward the earth, soften the muscles in the back of the neck. Maybe take a couple of neck rolls here. And staying right here, or if it feels good in your body, go ahead and drop that hip of the bent leg down to the earth. Extend the arm long and just get a bigger stretch through that hip. So just dropping that hip of the bent leg to the earth. Maybe reaching forward with the fingertips. And then start to lift back up to center. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Curl the back toes, lift the knee. Leg sweeps back up. And going to the opposite side right away, lift through the toes. Pull the knee to the chest, all the way through to the elbow. Walk the leg back. Again, take a moment here and stay lifted. Keep walking that back leg back until you feel like you're really opening that hip flexor. Tailbone sinks. And then maybe start to hinge forward. Finding the elbows, a block. Taking those neck rolls, or just softening the back of the neck and letting the head hang. Just holding right here and breathing into pigeon, or maybe dropping the hip of the bent leg to the side. And then extending the arms long, just a little more intensity for the stretch. And coming back up to center, walk up. This time, let's just sweep the legs around. We'll find a seated position. Cross the legs. Take a big inhale, sweep up and over. And let's take that side body stretch. Doesn't matter which side you start with. So as you reach up and over with the fingertips, grounding that same hip bone down to really open up. Maybe gazing up. And back through center to the other side. Ground down through the hip bones. Gaze. And then reaching the fingertips up, one final twist. Right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. Left hand becomes that second spine. So lift up through the crown, lengthen and reach here. Inhaling to get as tall and long as you can through the spine. So that on the exhale, we can rotate just a little more. And release back to center. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, opposite side. Lift up, get tall. And exhale, rotate. And coming back to center. Let's bring our hands to heart center, close the eyes. Maybe allowing the thumbs to come to the sternum, the heart. Ending our practice today with a sense of gratitude for our family, our friends, the community around us. And just reflecting on all of the beauty that comes out of a situation that is not ideal, something that none of us would have chosen. But reflecting on all of the ways that you've seen people around you come together to support one another. To honor and respect the choices that others are making. And just to take this situation and all learn and grow. that wisdom, light, and compassion in each of you is also within me. Let us honor one another and everyone that we encounter throughout our day, our week. We bow our heads together. Namaste. And again, your reminder, of course, please join us for class anytime. We love seeing all of you. All of the videos are on YouTube. If there's a workout that you want to do again, or a practice that you would like to do again. And please check out the challenge that is starting tomorrow on the 1st, and use that as an opportunity to kind of reflect in your practice a little bit more deeply and have a little bit of fun on that next week. I'll unmute you now. And again, if you haven't messaged me yet about weights, please let me know what you have so that we can kind of tailor our practices going forward.
Jen, thank you. That was awesome.